your evening news at 7. I'm Corinna Mohabir, your news anchor, and let's hop right into the news. Social media has been an up and rising phenomenon since the early 2000s, and now, as kids and teens spend up to 6 hours a day scrolling on social media, we wonder here at BTT News, can all that screen time be bad for your kids' health? Many people say social media has a positive impact. Others argue that it has a negative effect on developing brains, especially those in adolescence. When North Toronto students were surveyed about whether they think they're addicted to social media, 76.5% of them reported yes or maybe when asked. And when asked about how social media has affected their sleep, 35.3% of students reported staying up late 3 to 5 times a week. Even as an adult, missing this much sleep can negatively impact your eyes, sleep quality, and your overall well-being, especially if your brain is still developing. Not only that, but on top of it all, 35.2% of NT students have also said that they spend 4 to 6 hours a day on their phones, time they could use studying or spending time with friends and family and doing social bonding activities. Now, let's get some real-world opinions about this topic. Good evening, sir. What do you think the negative effects of social media will be on teens in the future?
It's hard to tell. Right now, the social media experiment is still in its infancy, but time will tell. I think that the problem with social media is really the problem of society that we have even before social media existed, and that is just the normal tensions that arise between people. And I think social media does exacerbate and quicken that, but it's the jury's out. It remains to be seen what will actually happen.
Thank you. Do you think social media brings people further apart or closer together?
I think it brings them closer together. However, what I said before is true here as well, and that it's the same old human tensions and biases that we have towards each other that can cause rifts between people that are close together, like you and I are right now, or people that are connected electronically through either apps or social media. So just be careful with social media out there, and know when to turn it off.
Overall, do you think the effect social media has on teens is positive or negative?
I think it can be positive and negative because sometimes kids can be brought together by it, and sometimes it can have negative mental effects on them.
Good evening, gentlemen. What do you think the effects of social media are on teens and youth today?
A couple of things pop to mind. We have their general health. They don't exercise and get out as much as they used to, such as when we were younger. Other issue is misinterpretation of and damaging relationships that normally would have been formed when people actually met face to face. So social media can create a lot of issues around how young people learn to interact and then continue interacting, because relationship forming is one of the biggest and most important things as children move to young adults and young adults to adults and to the working world.
Thank you. As a whole, do you believe social media brings people closer together or further apart?
I think in the end it has the potential to bring them closer together, but unfortunately the effect actually ends up being that people spend less time face to face and in normal general contact with each other and relationship forming.
Overall, what do you think the effect social media has on today's teens and youth?
Well, it has both a good and bad effect. Because it allows people to talk outside of school and work, but the bad effect is that you can't really get the tone of people's messages, so you can get mixed messages like from different things people say.
Overall, what do you think the effect is of social media on teens and youth? Thank you. We reached out to esteemed therapist Katie Morton about this topic, but we received no comment. However, in her YouTube videos, popularly viewed and posted online, she does mention the detrimental effects of social media on kids' sleep, health, and overall quality of living. Due to social media being an always changing phenomenon, researchers still haven't carried out any long-term studies on this topic. However, as a parent, you can do many things to make sure your child or adolescent is doing well in school and not spending too much time on social media. Make sure to check in with them and limit how much time they're spending on screens. I'm your host, Corinna Mohabir, and this has been BTT News.
Cameraman out.